The games out there that can draw you in with their beauty, their sense of scale and grandeur, are few and far between, but this game would certainly rank amongst them. I'm Obsidian Ant, and this is Black Desert. Now, Black Desert has been available in Korea for a very long time now, but it's only just been made available in North America and Europe. And it's a game I've been keeping an eye on for a good number of years. MMOs like this aren't typically the sort of game I play, but Black Desert seems to be the exception. And in large part, that's due to the beauty of the world here. It just hooks into my imagination, and it really does inspire me. And for all you lovely people out there, my subscribers and people who regularly watch my YouTube channel, you will know just how that type of gameplay affects me due to my ongoing Elite Dangerous series. I absolutely adore games that can hook me in due to their environments and their overall sense of scale. Now, Black Desert isn't immune, of course, to a lot of the tropes and pitfalls of many other MMO out there, but it does go far enough to make itself stand out amongst the crowd. And it certainly goes far enough to draw me back into this genre after an extensive decade-long break. So, what is Black Desert? Well, as I said, it is an MMO, but it possesses a number of features that are not typically a part of games of this field. Underneath the game's surface here, there is an entire resource management system, as well as a fairly rich trading system. Of course, there's a lot of monster hunting and there's a lot of questing involved, but that is by no means the be-all and end-all of the game. And, well, to be honest, the combat in this game is rather interesting in and of itself. But I'll get to all that in just a bit. Before that, I want to talk a bit more about the game's world. And the game's world is indeed pretty rich, and it seems very much alive. Typically, these sorts of games do feel very static. You have a lot of NPCs just standing around, not particularly very well animated, but just look what it's like here. Walking up this path, you already get a sensation of the life that's going on within this game. Now, a lot of it is NPC activity, but a lot of other activity is also player-based activity. It's a very busy game, and these central hubs, even the side hubs, like this one here, are very, very busy. Now, Alejandro Farm is just a small little hub here, and it is also a resource node. Nodes form a massive part of Black Desert, and as you move through the game, you'll find that you can link one node to the next, forming a massive chain that will allow you to exploit the game's resources, as well as get heavily involved in the game's trading system. A large part of both those systems are workers you can employ, as well as an extensive housing system. Houses can be converted into various forms. You can use them as workshops, you can use them as storage, lodging, or even as residence. Workers, well, you can hire a whole bunch of these, and you can send them out to either gather resources for you or do crafting for you. Now, in a very nice touch, any workers that you send out into the game world here, you can actually encounter on your travels. Now, you may have sent them to a farm to gather some potatoes, or you may have sent them to a mine to mine you some copper, or you may just see them moving to and fro between the various tasks that you've set them. This here is Heidel, and I'm speaking to the trade manager here. This is one of the first big hubs that you'll actually come across. There's a few others before this, but this is the first real big city. Trade managers you can both sell to and buy from, and they deal with a whole lot of products. On the right there, you can see the products that I've brought with me, and I can sell these to the NPC here. Their price will fluctuate greatly. I can just sometimes get only 30% of their original cost, or I can sometimes get significantly over 100%. All this will factor in depending on what sort of resource nodes you've connected, and the price will also increase greatly depending on how far away you are from the product's point of origin. What I'm selling here are some fishes, and that is a nice little game here that you can get involved in just going fishing. I'll show you that in a bit, and it's actually something that allows you to make quite a good chunk of money. Now, you can also buy from the trade managers here. You can see that on the left they've got a limited amount of products they can purchase, but they also have a huge list of products that you can sell to them. And you can see there that all the products have a price history there. There's only a very short price history here because the game's only been out for around about 2 weeks or so now. So, in comparison to many other games at least, the trading system here is pretty robust. There's literally hundreds of products, and the prices will vary from town to town, and their price will fluctuate over time. In terms of the bottom line of trading itself, you simply buy the products here, take them to a different location and sell them. But trade products are very, very heavy. They will weigh your character down immensely to the point that they can only walk at a very, very slow pace. Fortunately though, the game does have a whole bunch of horses you can buy. You can certainly own a lot more than just one, and you can also buy a horse and cart, which allows you to carry a significant amount of trade goods. Now, you saw me fishing just there. That really does take me all the way back to Ultima Online and the little fishing you could get involved in there. It does sort of play out as a bit of a mini game, and you can even do some AFK fishing if you're so inclined, and a whole lot of players do actually do that. But whatever way you look at it, all these little activities add to the overall life of the game. Now, another thing that Black Desert has is the most impressive camera system I've ever seen in any game. As you've probably noticed, I've had the game's UI switched off for the entirety of this video, and that's because I wanted to keep the focus heavily on the game's world here. With this camera, you can control the depth of field live, and you can reposition the camera to the left or right or up or down, or just about any way you want. Now, not only does this allow people like me to get absolutely awesome footage, but it also allows everyone to really get in and get a massive sensation for exploration in this game. Now, much like Elite Dangerous, Black Desert is all about what you make of it. Some people would tell you it's a very shallow game. You hear that all the time about Elite after all. Other people would tell you that it offers things that no other game offers. And over the past couple of weeks that I've been playing Black Desert, I've been finding that to be firmly the case. You can simply take it to be a quest-based game with missions, a typical MMO where you level up and all the rest of it. Or you can get really into it and find that it very much is an entire other world. And for me at least, things like that are what gaming is all about. Now here, yet again, I'm in a little bit of combat. I haven't done too much of it in this video, but unlike a lot of other MMOs, this is action-based combat. There's no tab targeting here. There is a hotbar, but you don't use it in the way you would in Warcraft. In fact, with this character here, his sword is bound to the left button, and you use various combinations of the left and right mouse buttons along with the direction keys to give combo attacks. So whilst obviously the combat is not Dark Souls or anything like that, it is very much more rewarding and very much more richer than what you'd find in something like World of Warcraft. And overall it feels very kinetic and gives you a lot of impact when you perform your moves. And that in itself, much like the rest of the game, is very rewarding. Now, I'm almost certainly going to be back with more Black Desert videos, but don't worry, I'm still going to keep heavily focused on Elite and indeed other games from the space genre. But when a game comes along with a world as rich as this one, I simply can't sit back and ignore it. At any rate, that's the end of this video. I'll be back soon with some more videos. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time. Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. As you may have heard by now, I managed to catch up with the Distant Worlds expedition. This video covers my journey through Waypoint 17 and Waypoint 18, where the expedition embarked upon an epic mountain climb that only a few commanders actually managed to survive.